The son of the King of Nepal, Prince Dipendra, died at the age of 29. Nepal's royal family faced numerous challenges, but none as mysterious and tragic as the events of 2001. That year, Crown Prince Dipendra found himself at the center of a devastating incident that shook the world. Why was his fate so tragic, and what led to his death? Let's find out more on Empire Elegance. Crown Prince Dipendra's childhood was shaped by his strong interests in sports, academics, and a deep fascination with firearms. Nepal's Crown Prince Dipendra was born on June 27, 1971, just months before his father, King Birendra, ascended the throne. As the eldest son, Dipendra was the heir to the Nepalese monarchy. He grew up in the royal palace, surrounded by immense wealth, power, and duty. From a young age, Dipendra was known for his intelligence and good manners, but he also had a strong personality and a desire to be seen for who he truly was. A longtime royal aide once mentioned that Dipendra had a strong sense of duty, but sometimes needed more support in his personal life. Dipendra's formal education began at Kanti Ishwari High School in Kathmandu, followed by Budhanilkantha School. He then attended the prestigious Eton College in England, where he gained exposure to Western education and culture. Upon returning to Nepal, he continued his studies at Sri Chandra College and the Military Academy in Karipati. Excelling in academics, he earned a gold medal at Tribhuvan University and was pursuing a PhD when tragedy struck. Throughout his life, Dipendra had diverse interests. He was deeply involved in social service and sports, frequently attending national and international events to support Nepalese athletes. He served as a patron of the National Sports Council and Nepal Scouts. While studying in Britain, he trained in martial arts and achieved a black belt in karate by the age of 20. He also had a keen interest in writing and contributing articles to Nepalese periodicals on themes of nationhood and nationalism. Among Dipendra's many interests, firearms were one of them. Growing up in a royal family with a strong military tradition, he was exposed to weapons from a young age. He received military training and often accompanied his father to army camps. His familiarity with firearms was not unusual for a future king expected to lead the nation's military forces. His military training further strengthened his skills as he received instruction from the Academy of the Royal Nepalese Gurkha Army and pilot training from the Civil Aviation Department. Dipendra's confident and outgoing nature was evident in many ways. In March 1993, during Princess Diana's visit to Nepal, he arranged a special tour of Kathmandu for her, showing his admiration and respect for her. During his time at Eton, Dipendra met Devyani Rana, a woman he would later fall deeply in love with. Devyani came from an influential and wealthy background. Her great-grandfather was Nepal's last Rana Prime Minister, and her mother's side had strong royal connections in India. For Dipendra, it was love at first sight. The two became close, and he soon expressed his desire to marry her. However, his family, particularly his mother, Queen Aishwarya, opposed the relationship. She viewed Devyani's family as too politically connected and feared their influence could threaten the Nepalese monarchy. There were also concerns over caste. Though Devyani's family was affluent, they were considered socially inferior to Nepal's royal lineage. As Dipendra's love for Devyani deepened, his family's staunch opposition fueled tensions within the palace, setting the stage for a tragic conflict. Dipendra's family did not accept his love for Devyani, causing tension in the palace. King Birendra also disagreed with the relationship. He even warned his son that if he married Devyani, he would lose his place as heir to the throne. This put Dipendra in a difficult position. He had spent years preparing to be king, but now he had to choose between love and his royal duty. By the time Dipendra neared his 30th birthday, his family was pressuring him to marry. They had chosen 2 women for him, but he refused. An article in May 2001 questioned why the crown prince was still unmarried and suggested that his future as heir to the throne was at risk. The public wanted to celebrate his marriage, but Dipendra had no intention of marrying anyone other than Devyani. As the pressure over his marriage continued, Dipendra became more determined to be with Devyani. The tension in the palace grew, but he remained committed to his love. seeing her in secret while trying to navigate the complicated situation with his family. As tensions over his marriage grew, Dipendra found himself increasingly isolated. Family gatherings became strained, and he was repeatedly pressured to abandon his love for Devyani. According to some unverified accounts, an argument broke out at his 29th birthday celebration. While emotions ran high, the full details of what transpired remain unclear, with different sources offering conflicting versions of events. When King Birendra and Queen Aishwarya heard about the incident, they made a final decision. If Dipendra wanted to marry Devyani, he had to give up his right to the throne. This was a turning point for the prince. His parents had made it clear. He could either be with the woman he loved or keep his place as Nepal's future king. But he could not have both. What happened next would change the course of Nepalese history forever. A family dinner at the palace took a tragic turn, leading to a shocking disaster. On June 1, 2001, the Nepalese royal family gathered at the Narayanhedi Palace for their usual Friday dinner. It was a private family event, so no security guards were present. That evening, Crown Prince Dipendra attended the family gathering as usual. While some reports suggested he was drunk, others questioned the validity of these claims. Witnesses later recalled that Dipendra had spoken to Devyani Rana that night, sounding calm and composed. Dipendra made 3 phone calls to his girlfriend, Devyani Rana. She later recalled that his speech was slurred, but he assured her he was going to sleep. But he didn't. Shortly after, chaos erupted in the palace. Witnesses reported hearing gunfire. But what exactly transpired remains one of Nepal's greatest mysteries. Some accounts claim Dipendra was present, while others suggest a deeper conspiracy at play. The peaceful palace was suddenly filled with chaos, as a deadly attack changed Nepal forever. The first shot was fired at his father, King Birendra. The palace was thrown into chaos. Some family members tried to intervene, while others ran for cover. His younger brother, Prince Nirajan, stepped in, begging, "Don't do it, please. Kill me if you want." But Dipendra showed no mercy. He shot Nirajan, and then went searching for his mother, Queen Aishwarya. His uncle, Kumar Khadga Singh, tried to stop him. "You've done enough damage, hand over the gun now," he pleaded, but Dipendra shot him too. By the time the shooting stopped, 9 members of the royal family were dead, including the king, queen, both of Dipendra's siblings, and several aunts and uncles. 4 others were wounded. Finally, Dipendra turned the gun on himself. Despite his self-inflicted gunshot wound, Dipendra didn't die immediately. He was rushed to the hospital and placed on a ventilator. But with King Birendra dead, the unconscious Dipendra was now, technically, the King of Nepal. For 3 days, Nepal had a king who couldn't speak, rule, or even wake up. On June 4th, Dipendra succumbed to his injuries. His uncle, Prince Gyanendra, the only immediate family member absent from the palace that night, was crowned the new king. In the days after the tragedy, Nepal was left in shock, searching for answers and questioning what really happened. The official explanation placed sole responsibility on Dipendra, but many remained unconvinced. The investigation had several inconsistencies and left many questions unanswered, leading to ongoing doubts about the real story behind that night. The palace initially called it an accidental discharge of an automatic weapon, but no one believed that. How could an entire royal family be wiped out by accident? Kathmandu was placed under curfew. Riots still broke out. Protesters took to the streets, demanding answers. 3 were shot dead by security forces, and hundreds were arrested. On June 2nd, the victims were given a state funeral, but many felt that justice had not been served. Nepal's government formed a 2-person investigation committee. In just 1 week, they concluded that Dipendra was responsible. There was no toxicology report, no ballistic analysis, and no autopsy details released to the public. The unnamed black substance he had smoked remained a mystery. Scotland Yard offered to assist in the investigation, but Nepal refused. The secrecy surrounding the case only fueled speculation. Many believed there was more to the story. Was Dipendra framed? One of the biggest theories was that Prince Gyanendra had orchestrated the massacre to take the throne. The fact that he was the only immediate family member not present that night made people suspicious. Some even believed his son, Prince Paras, had played a role in the killings. Both men denied involvement, but rumors never faded. Others pointed fingers at the government. Was the palace covering something up? The rushed investigation, lack of transparency, and contradictions in official statements only added to the doubts. Some thought Dipendra had snapped under pressure. His love for Devyani Rana had been forbidden, and his dreams of ruling Nepal were crumbling. Others believed he was manipulated or drugged into committing the murders. And the royal massacre marked the beginning of the end for Nepal's monarchy, leaving behind a story that still haunts the nation. King Gyanendra's rule was deeply unpopular from the start. Unlike his brother, he didn't have the people's trust. When he took power, he dismissed elected leaders and ruled with an iron fist. Protests erupted. By 2006, Nepal was in full-blown political turmoil. On April 24, 2006, after weeks of protests, Gyanendra was forced to reinstate parliament. But it was too late. His reign had sealed the fate of the monarchy. On May 28, 2008, Nepal officially became a federal democratic republic. The 240-year-old monarchy was abolished. Gyanendra was stripped of power and forced to leave the palace. The Nepalese royal massacre wasn't just a tragedy, it was a turning point in Nepal's history. The mystery of why Dipendra did what he did remains unsolved. Was it really just a crime of passion? Or was there something deeper? Something that has been hidden from the public for over 2 decades? Even today, people still debate what really happened that night. Theories continue to circulate, and the truth may never fully come to light. But one thing is certain. In a single night, Nepal lost not just its king, but also its royal family and eventually its monarchy. The tragic events of June 1, 2001, profoundly impacted the country, leaving a legacy of loss and unanswered questions. In the end, Dipendra's life was one marked by duty, love, and immense pressure. And his story remains one of deep sorrow and mystery. What do you think about this sad story? Share in the comments. Subscribe to our channel and give us a like if you enjoyed the video. See you soon!